Hi, one of my all-time favorite Bible stories is the story of David and Goliath. Let's listen to the story.
This is the story of David and Goliath. Saul was a king and he ruled people called Israelites. David and his family were Israelites too. The Israelites weren't getting along with people named the Philistines. The problem with the Philistines was that they had many giants living in their land. One of the strongest and biggest giants was named Goliath. He was over 9 feet tall, which is taller than any person recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records. He would have had to bend way down to get through a regular door. Goliath was covered with armor to protect him and carried a big spear. Every morning and every evening for 40 days, he shouted to the Israelites in his big, deep voice, "Hey, you guys, I dare you to find one man to fight me. If he can beat me, we will become your servants. But if I win, you will all become our servants." When Saul and all his men heard this, they were very afraid. 3 of these men were David's 3 oldest brothers. They were the only ones in David's family that could go fight because they were old enough. Now, David's father, Jesse, heard about the giant and was worried for his sons. He called David out of the fields and asked him to take some food to his brothers and report back how they are doing. So David set off to visit his brothers. As he approached them, he heard Goliath shouting his challenge like he did every morning. "Isn't someone going to stand up to this man?" David asked the men in the army. "Then I will fight this giant Philistine." One of the men overheard this and ran to Saul and told him what David said. Saul approached David and said, "You can't fight Goliath. You're only a boy, and he has been fighting for many years." But David said to Saul, "I have had to fight lions and bears to protect my father's sheep. God helped keep me safe then, and God will help keep me safe now." So Saul dressed David in heavy armor to protect him from Goliath. But David took it off. It was so heavy he could hardly walk, and he knew that God would keep him from harm. Instead, David went to a stream nearby and found 5 smooth stones, put them in a pouch around his waist, and with his sling, he went to Goliath. As David approached Goliath, Goliath looked at David and thought it was a joke. Goliath thought that he could easily beat David, and it was funny that Saul would send a small boy to fight him. But David said to him without fear, "You fight with a sword, and I come with God on my side, and today everyone will know that there is one true God in this land." Goliath didn't care what David said, and he moved closer to attack him. David ran quickly to meet him. Reaching into his pouch, he pulled out a stone, put it in his slingshot, and shot it at Goliath. The stone had hit him right between his eyes, and suddenly Goliath started to lose his balance. He fell with a loud thud right on his face. David had done it. He beat the giant Philistine. When the rest of the Philistines saw this, they ran away, and David became a hero to all the people in Israel.
Every time I hear this story, I am reminded that there is no problem too big for God. So that means whatever you're facing in life, whatever problems you have in school, be it math, be it writing, maybe reading. Sometimes you deal with anger, or sometimes you cry a lot, or whatever the problem you have, maybe a problem with the parent. Guess what? There is no problem too big for God. So when we come up with our problems, what should we do? We should pray and ask God what to do, and He will give us the courage to face our problems. So guess what? We have to end with the chant. Our chant here is, I'm going to say there's no problem, and you're going to say too big for God. I'm going to say there's no problem, and you're going to say too big for God. Are you ready? Let's try it. There's no problem. Say it again. There's no problem. And as you go throughout your day, remember there's no problem too big for God. See you next time. Bye.